What's going on? I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna make the title shirtless and screaming, and I thought that one, that's a lie. Two, that doesn't make any sense, and three, what if people click on that, what is wrong with you? Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is the Schiller. We talk about Web3 NFTs and all of that fun jazz. So we're gonna start off with a quick little conversation from the head of Web3 at Rolling Loud. Really cool clip from that. We have a ton to go over regarding the Pudgy token airdrop. If you have a wallet on Ethereum or Solana and you've had it for a couple of years, you might have free crypto. Very nice. Very nice. How much? How much? You know what I'm saying? So good day on that. If you happen to play Nifty Island as well, that was another token airdrop that happened that people may or may not be familiar with, but you probably saw it on the timeline a couple months ago. We got cyberkongs are getting hit by the SEC. What? Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. Let me tell you, if you got any friends that are in crypto, you want to share the stream, like it, retweet, all that kind of other stuff, would appreciate it. If you're watching on Twitch, phenomenal. YouTube, phenomenal. All likes, appreciate it. All right, cool. So talk with Mr. Ronald DeLuise. We actually have a very old YouTube video. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say very old, but it was about a year or 2 years ago with Ron when the Loud Punks, which was Rolling Loud's lifetime access to their festivals, was going on. And they are still holders of ETH. They're actually really bullish on the blockchain. And if you watch the concerts, well, the team's actually in Web3, so it's kind of crazy. So here's a quick clip from my conversation with Ronald.
Yeah, I think it's more native exposure to the blockchain space. It's a long-term bet on the space as a whole. I mean, obviously, Tarek feels, we all feel Ethereum still a wildly undervalued asset. We hold everything and all of our mint are still all in Ethereum. So it's a large bet on the future of Ethereum as well. And as we start to expand into the future with crypto gaining more mind share, I think the Loud Punks Lounge itself offers unique opportunities for sponsorships, like shipped merch. I'm sure you've kind of in the real world asset side of things. I think the chipping of merch has a huge future for merchandise, for artists, for festivals, for businesses, and people sort of opting into that like loyalty program, you know, by scanning their chips and jumping into that. So it's more a bet on the long-term future. And obviously holding everything in Ethereum kind of shows that.
Sure.
I believe very much in Ethereum is the dominant L1 going forward.
100%, 100%. So if you guys are wanting to go check that out, that is available on the RWA Segments podcast. That is in the link description on YouTube, or if you are on X, it is in my bio. So all these teams, they're making these announcements. It seems like everything is starting to come to a culminating Q1 Ranga, the art collection. Something's happening soon. What it is, we will have to wait and see. Never forget, Spirit DAO backing Azuki Peak Elemental FUD. So this is when we say, talk your talk. You know what I mean? If you got a conviction play, you know, man up, show some muscles. Let's go. You can't see me flexing, but we're flexing. You know what I'm saying? Because then you can go back on these things and be like, listen, you can see who had conviction, who was right about certain things, and seeing where other people were dead wrong. Now, what are they talking about when they say Elemental FUD? So when you look at a collection, right? If we go Azuki OpenSea, we'll do OpenSea, right? Because the airdrop's coming up. We got to show some love to OpenSea while we're on that train, right? And then the other one was Elementals. Well, and then we got to go through the beans too. It's like a little bit of a history lesson for all this kind of stuff. So much fun, right? So much fun. Okay, so these are the Azukis. All right, 10,000 might look all right, cool. They're not too shabby. If we go for like the highest last sale. All right, do you think these ones look a little bit better? Do you care? It's like, okay, it's a different kind of drawing. Do I really care? It's all about the story, the narrative, the traits, etc. Okay, so 210 each. Jeez. So that's Azuki, right? And then there's these elementals. And you'll probably say, well, all right, those look pretty good. Almost, you know, kind of exactly like those other ones. And then for the coolest, I mean, these ones maybe have like a little bit more like dramatic points to them on like the elementals here. Maybe I like the frog a little bit more. Maybe the elementals are better. Well, Azuki was the first collection, but then they launched these beans, which this isn't even the right thing. What are we doing? Hold on. All right. So I don't want to go through all this, but basically you got these beans, and then you would be able to get these bean avatars that are similar to these people. And everyone assumed that that was like the second tier collection. But then they launched elementals in a sale, which looked exactly like Azuki's. And there was a ton of fun around it. There was a ton of fun being like, oh, these are the exact same. This is a cash grab, typical Web3 type deal. Yo, Neil, what's going on? How we doing? How we doing? Phenomenal? Phenomenal. I hope phenomenal. And so that's when he was back at the peak FUD, because everybody said all the things we just went over. But they were out there setting up the bid wall, ready to buy. Now, obviously, you need to have the capital for that and have that conviction, but crazy to watch and see. Cool Cat study, return to the Cool Cats treasury. Kind of cool. Again, domain names for people curious how that realm shapes up. Seems like everything regarding Ethereum is really kind of the focus for the .eth names, but there is a lot of other ones. We'll see over time. Okay, so some somber, not so great news. I'm pretty sure OpenSea got hit with a Wells notice a while ago, like a month, 2 ago. And then we had Immutable X. He got hit with something recently. And I don't even think Immutable X is American, but whatever. And then so yesterday, CyberKongz come out and say this. CyberKongz has received a Wells notice from the SEC. We are extremely disappointed that the approach the SEC has taken towards us, but we are going to stand up and fight for a brighter future that holds more clarity for NFT projects. We have been suffering in silence for the last 2 years, ever since we first received contact from the SEC. So I didn't actually know this was something that happened. I know that at a point, I think like Yuga was talking with them. I had no idea. Or at least it didn't break bigger news, or I'm just an idiot or unaware, which is fine, that was even happening. But it goes back to the notion yesterday when we highlighted that Gary Vee in his Discord was talking about, well, I can figure out what I can and can't do a little bit easier soon, right? For V friends. And we look back at the past year and it's like, were certain things held off for mainly this reason? Did people have contact behind the scenes and know this was going on? So they felt, oh, we got to wait. We don't want to get caught by anything. It's weird when it kind of changes your perspective when you realize all this is going on. Throughout the entire process, they have showcased a complete lack of understanding of blockchain technologies that has resulted in unjust accusations and information inaccuracies. CyberKongz is a project deep-rooted in gaming, and the SEC's Division of Enforcement have approached us with very concerning rhetoric that you cannot have a token, ERC20, in tandem with a blockchain game without registering it as a security. So this line right here, and I think that's like the next post that I bring up from Loopify, is saying like, this is serious. So TLDR, the SEC says you cannot have a token associated with a blockchain game. And when it's presented in that light, right, you go through the entire thing, you're like, when you hyper-focus on that, you're like, wow, that's actually like a really big deal. And like arguably just completely kills the entire industry. Now, we know that things are supposed to change, but it does, again, highlight the concern around everything like this. So when you see people talk about just Ethereum, just Bitcoin, and it's past these legal frameworks, and you don't have this worry, I mean, I want to look at it optimistically where you say, okay, well, if this is something that we tentatively agree that is going to be completely gone very shortly, if not within this year or two after, because it's just going to happen. And if the majority of people are scared of this regulatory component, well, I mean, damn, it's just going to absolutely go crazy afterwards. Now, I think when you talk to the average person that gets into crypto, they have no idea, right? You open the Robinhood, you go on the different sites that you buy crypto. I've talked to a few friends that have gotten into it. One friend I didn't even know, he's like, yeah, my coworker told me about XRP before. I'm like, how the hell is everybody such XRP maxis that I don't know from the Web3 side, and everybody that I do know on the Web3 side, like none of them hold anything XRP related. It's really funny. So we're not going over the whole CyberKongz thing, but super crappy to hear, and hopefully that gets resolved relatively quickly. Now, what's kind of cool about this, though, is it almost made Banana like a meme coin. So the CyberKongz, you're able to yield this banana token, but also for the NFTs, people are out there saying, all right, like we're going to stand with CyberKongz and we're going to moon the floor of everything. Okay, let's go. This is protesting in 2024. So people are out there just sweeping things like crazy. Looks primed to protest this regulatory insanity. The banana token, says Andrew Campbell. I mean, listen, if that's the narrative we're going with, I absolutely love it. Henry the Grape from the CyberKong's council? CyberKong's team, excuse me. I know that CyberKong's had like a council. There's the team, but he's on with Thread Guy talking about this. So what do you have to say?
How do you think they came after you?
For a few reasons.
If you could say, yeah.
Yeah, it was speculating, totally speculating, because they didn't tell us. Like, their job is to protect investors. Highly doubt anyone's like, hey, I bought a baby Kong and now it's not worth as much. Yeah. Maybe. I think it's because, like, when Banana was going, like, parabolic, there were YouTube videos. There was, like, a...
Okay, so best trade ever, Schiller. Wow, I mean, listen, the Apes was a good one, but I bought a Genesis CyberKongs, and then they went just unbelievably high. But the Banana token was earning, like, 10 banana a day, and banana token was trading at $100. So you were earning $1,000 a day off of the yield, and it was the craziest thing in crypto.
A Yahoo Finance article about making passive income, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I think they thought that they were going to come to us and make like a massive case out of this. Like, keep in mind, after FTX, the commission was like, we're going after crypto. And I think that they thought, like, we caught ourselves a big fish here. I think what they didn't realize is, like, yeah, like, they're an 800-pound gorilla, right? It's the U.S. government. They're going to toss their weight around, but, like, we're a 900-pound gorilla, and we're going to slap the shit out of them. Like,
damn.
Yeah, all right. So we're feeling confident. It's also kind of funny. I don't know if this was intentional, but the guy's got a bunch of rugs behind him. I don't know if anybody else caught that or if that was just me. But phenomenal. All right, the Ripple stablecoin is out. Let's see what they have to say regarding why it matters. Because I don't know, it's $1, right? That's why it matters, right?
Ripple has always built products specifically for enterprises and financial institutions. Now we're bringing that deep expertise to launch a stablecoin, built for businesses but accessible to everybody. For more than a decade, Ripple has been the industry leader in on-chain solutions for institutional finance. From the beginning, Ripple has always worked with global regulators, ensuring our solutions are compliant and adhere with local regulations wherever we decide to launch our products. We are well positioned to launch Ripple USD for several reasons. We're focused on the gold standard of compliance. RLUSD is issued in accordance with the New York State Department of Financial Services stablecoin guidance, which sets forth requirements designed to protect stablecoin holders. The requirements touch on the timely redemption of stablecoins, the safekeeping of stablecoin reserve assets, independent third-party attestations to verify the reserve. And Ripple USD is...
I'm bored as hell. I'm not going to lie. Listen, if you find that exciting, that's great. But can we please, to God, have like a little bit of excitement, a little bit of something in the voice, get somebody that's engaging. What are we doing? Jeez. All right, never buying that. True. Oh, actually, wait, we'll see. Okay, once you realize that crypto will be integrated in almost every industry, you realize the only place to put your money is crypto. True. Okay, let's have a little bit of a chit chat while we have like a horrible hair day where we're rocking the hat. Listen, we're feeling a little bit old school. We're feeling a little bit old school, if you will. Okay, so out of the store today, right? And I want to take you back a few years. Do you remember when self-checkouts came in and there was a movement similar like how they had the bananas where people said, I'm going to the cashier because I don't want them to lose a job. And then all the companies just started taking away the cashiers no matter what, where you didn't even have the option, and basically forcing you through the self-checkout line. You're like, oh, so the technology is going to be what's going to be kept around. Well, damn, we gotta be paying attention to what's going on here. And today, out at the mall, picking up gift cards, other things, the holiday season. There was one person that was at the cashier that was like staffing it. There was also like a couple of the self-checkouts, but everybody was doing the lottery, gift cards, whatever else. We were in there for like 30 minutes. Nothing was going on. They didn't get another cashier, even though one was standing there two were standing there not doing anything, trying to like usher people over to the self-checkout, but you couldn't even do it at the store. I'm like, what? I don't want to waste my time. Let me just order online. Why do we have to do these things in person? I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I get it. Listen, I get it. The world, I'm trying to get like a physical gift, trying to get it out to people. You think, oh, it's going to be a quick store, simple, easy. Nope. Terrible. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, man, I just so much prefer not having to worry about traveling different places, not worrying about having to deal with other people when certain things work, because the cashier was screwing up certain thing. This guy in the lottery thing was like, oh no, you priced this wrong. I want this card. I want to change over here. I want you to scan this. And it's only one person. You're standing there like, let me friggin' check out. You can't. Oh my God. I'm telling you, it's insane. Phenomenal tweet. 10 out of 10. Would agree. All right. Y'all don't know about the max out all your credit cards and order 10,000 Gary V books to claim the book game NFTs play in 2021. True. So everybody's got different plays, right? If you get on X, you'll see a whole bunch of people, they give you the alpha, right? They show whatever they're into. Some people are right. Some people are wrong. Some things are right in a short-term period, wrong in a long-term period, and vice versa. The patient panda, we'll go over it. All right. Anyway, back in the day, if you bought all these books, you absolutely made complete bank, especially to those that ended up returning them afterwards. You got free NFTs with them. Gary got another New York Times best-selling author. And it was actually like the best play. Now, I don't remember if those actually, we can go and look, can't we? These are on Token Trove. Let's go and see. I just typed in token instead of Token Trove. We need the other part of this. How much sugar have you had today? You're amped. Listen, I feel passionate. It's not even, listen, so for the brisks, right? You know, like the brisk iced tea, we found the no sugar version. They're at Metro. They're at Independent. A lot of other places don't have it. But I'd argue it's better than the real deal. I'd argue that it's better than the real deal with the sugar and all that kind of stuff. You ordered 24 of those books. What a whale. Okay, so these are trading at $84. I'm trying to remember, was it per book? Or was it, you needed like 5? I wanted to say that it was per book. But these were trading way higher at a point. If we go to activity, I don't know if this takes us all the way back. So it goes 90 days. Wait, what? Okay, somebody started buying some of the bigger ones at 0.22. So if we just say, I mean, either way, we could just keep it at 84, right? Because I don't even think the books were $84 a pop. It was probably more like 20. So again, if you bought these books, you made absolute bank. And it was insane. And it's weird to think like that is that is what happened. And it's totally true. Most people won't believe you. But when you say I bought a bunch of Gary V books and it was one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's factual. Okay, so there was some fun this morning. And at first I read this and I was like, that's insane. Like that's so much sell pressure if that's true. It is botted. And I mean, we've seen a lot of people bought these accounts, but when they made an announcement saying, this is Pudgy Penguin saying, beyond the Pudgy Penguins community, approximately 7 million wallets are eligible to claim Pengu tokens. So this was an immediate assumption off of that it was botted. It wasn't that they were allocating to Solana OGs, ETH OGs, and all this other stuff. It was an assumption that these were all like fake accounts that filled out their form. So immediately I'm like, oh my God, like that's rough. That's rough. But it ended up like not being too bad. But the token, we'll get into a lot more of that here in a second. Okay, so this is crazy. Yesterday we talked about how like the Canadian finance minister resigned, right? So this is like 2 years ago, and they're saying like Bitcoin's awful. Don't buy Bitcoin. Telling everybody not to buy Bitcoin.
Mr. Speaker, why don't we talk about some really terrible advice that was offered to Canadians in the spring by the Conservative leader? He urged Canadians to invest in crypto as a way to opt out of inflation. Now, Bitcoin has crashed by 21% over the past week. And
yeah, I mean, the other person was completely right, and this person's saying it's awful. And so this goes back to, you got to listen. You got to be careful. Keep an eye open. You never know what kind of agendas behind the scenes. But we'll go over to some other funny government officials comparisons here in a moment. But going over to Fluff World for a second. Guys, what the hell is going on with the Fluffle? So episode 1.5. So there's a game right now that's like the strategy simulation game. You can play it, the Third Kingdom. If you happen to have a cool cat or any kind of feature score, if you prestige once, you're going to get a bunch of free root. So please Do it. It'll take you like 2 days to do it. Feel free to send me a message if you need help. But if you have a future score, be sure to try out the game. But with that said, they're giving us some info. So we have to choose between the Cerebra, which is like Cerebro from X-Men, I'm guessing, Valora, and Lumera. Whatever the hell that means. So what are the teams? In episode 1.5, you'll choose a team that reflects your values and play style. What kind of values are we talking about? Together, you'll embark on crucial missions with other players to continue restoring the Third Kingdom and compete with other teams for rewards. Choose wisely. Allegiance is forever. So, we'll play a game here. I want you to think, right? This is completely fictional, but what team would you be a part of? Because I guess these are quick. So, Cerebra, for the thinkers, tacticians, and problem solvers, strategic, calculated, and always 3 steps ahead. Valora, for the bold, the strong, and the relentless, builders, warriors, and those who chase progress with unshakable ambition. And Lumera, for those who lead with unity and passion, the motivators, collaborators, and team players who rally others with hope and connection. I was not Team Lumera today when we were picking up those gift cards and whatnot. Nah, listen, rally other people, get out of the line. I want to check out and leave. Get out of here. But otherwise, let me know. What do you think between the 3? Curious to see how it all plays out. Okay, so we got the Pengu airdrop. More on that in a second, as I mentioned. But FTX is now saying that they are going to begin their initial distribution of $12 billion worth of stables back to people that hold crypto previously. Holy sheesh. Q1 2025, that will be massive. Remember Magic Eden? I'm telling you, these airdrops happen and they're immediately forgotten about a day later. It's kind of wild. Okay, so Petty's saying that they're longing Magic Eden and they're saying reason 1, claiming process is slowing down. Okay, so they're using the token. The people that are going to sell the token basically have, I guess. What do we got next? Reason 2, market makers. Many of you don't know what the market makers are. A market maker is like a shopkeeper in the crypto world. Okay. We're trying to go through this quickly here. What we've got, number 3, tokenomics and supply dynamics. Around 11.2 million of all circulating Magic Eden have been staked so far. That's around 10%. I mean, is 10% stake like really that good? Is that amazing? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Give me a little bit of reference. Number 4, ecosystem growth. I mean, right off the bat, without even reading this, I agree. Magic Eden has really expanded to everyone within the space. Magic Eden continues to dominate the NFT and ordinals marketplace space, consistently innovating and expanding its ecosystem. I like one of the points on that. The other ones, listen, it's not too great. Atom Bomb Squad, guys, we are back. My goodness. So these were from Bobby Hundreds. These were going for a decent amount way back in the day. Really haven't seen anything from it or focused on the NFT side of things. But yeah, they're getting bought up. Hell yeah. Listen, Germany's ex-finance minister, we just looked at one of Canadian, well, now ex-KEKW, but it is time to recognize the opportunities of Bitcoin in Germany. Very interesting point of view. So listen, I got to get somebody to explain to me the whole Hyperliquid thing. I honestly haven't done my own research, but InfiniGods and Pixelmon yesterday just bought the rights to be listed on Hyperliquid. What does this mean? Is this good for my bags? Well, I don't hold either, so probably not. This basically means they just bought a listing for on-chain Binance. Expensive, but without all the listing shenanigans and uncertainties. So that's kind of spicy. And I mean, if Hyperliquid's all about getting new tokens and people are paying for attention, I don't know. I feel like these were the things I kind of envisioned were going to happen way back in the day, but it hasn't really come. So yeah, maybe I got to do a little bit of extra reading. With all the liquidity NFT degens get via the Pengu airdrop and soon the OpenSea airdrop and the Island airdrop and the Anime airdrop and we could just go on, right? And the FTX injection. It's interesting to bottom fish high conviction NFTs that may be the recipient of all that extra cash. So this is interesting, right? When you look out on X and you will see people that are absolutely brain stupid maxis of whatever they're into. You can throw myself into that category and that's fine. But it is also something to notice that like, hey, if those people somehow come into liquidity, the only thing they're going to buy is more other bags. So there's people that don't care about that, but they're like, this comparison to this, let me go scoop it up. So again, if you have an older ETH wallet, if you have an older Sol wallet, doesn't matter. Go check out these wallets. It's actually a really super simple setup. If you go to the official Pudgy Penguins page, you'll be able to find it on there. Welcome to the huddle. There, where is it? Oh, I got listed on Binance today as well. We got OKX. Yeah, so 9 hours ago, Pengu is now live. You can find the contract address, and then you go down there, and it's like claim.pudgypenguins.com, and you will see the different wallets. But it'll go to your Sol wallet, but you can connect ETH and Solana ones. So some people try to kind of front run or do things earlier, and I guess somebody sold $10,000 worth of Pudgy at one point, and somehow swapped it for $5. I don't know how in the halibut this ends up happening, to be totally honest, but wow, if you're having a bad day, hopefully it got a little bit better, because that is a burner. We also saw a huge fall off immediately for the Pudgy Penguin NFTs once the claim happened. So this is something to note, I guess, where a lot of NFTs have done the yield over time, where Bored Ape Yacht Club's done that. We've had token distributions go a little bit slower for certain collections, and then other ones where they've kind of dropped it all initially, like Penguins. Now, to be fair, I guess like Bored Apes kind of did like half early, half over time. These guys did it all at once. Some ones you don't get any tokens until like the end of like a certain period itself. So everybody's doing something a little bit different. But it's also causing a little bit of a ripple effect where people say, oh my God, the Pudgy Penguin was pretty good. Anime coin's coming up. Well, Pudgy went to like 30 ETH. Zuki's below a 10 ETH floor? Well, I don't know about that. They're going out to buy. This is a horrible story. So this Ukami person's talking about how they bought the Pico bottom of NFTs, but they were bidding on Artifact Murakami clones. And we talked about like the day before Artifact announced they were done, like the Tagashi Murakami octopus hat clone Artifact. Clone X, excuse me. I was like, damn. I want to get that. God, glad it didn't. True. So apparently the play was for the Pengu airdrop as well. To claim it ASAP, just dump all of it and then buy when the market corrected. Because I think it started at like almost $5 billion, or maybe it was a little bit lower, 4 or 5. And going into it, the amount of hype on the timeline was extreme. And I think if you didn't have as many people being eligible for the token, it could look a little bit different. But 7 million eligible wallets is a lot. And apparently, it's 250,000. So when we talk about NFTs and trying to get value out of something, right? Value out of a community, it's not necessarily a monetary thing. But now you have 250,000 people. Let's argue that those are all individual wallets and people aren't rocking multiples. Let's assume that this is accurate one-to-one. So now you have 250,000 people that want this Pudgy Penguin thing to succeed. I mean, I'd take 250,000 people wanting to watch the stream. True. Yo, LG, what's going on? I didn't even think I was getting it and got a nice amount. Hell yeah. Did you order the first Solana phone? So that was the other thing that was crazy about this is they they really looked at different bits. So if you bought the second phone, which I did, apparently we weren't eligible, but the first one actually got it. And there was the Solana OG, there was the ETH OG. I saw some people that if you like used a certain site of some sort, like I thought the claim window was pretty good. I saw a lot of negativity around it earlier, but once it stopped having like way too much traffic, I think that it was actually like a really good setup. I had that. I also had the clusters that LV50 told me to get. Hell yeah. But the question is, did you keep the Pudgy or did you sell out? That is the question of the afternoon. So Dapper Dinos, guys, what in the hell is going on with Dapper Dinos? Hey, Dinos, starting today and continuing until the end of next year, we will be sharing sneak peeks for our upcoming platformer. Be sure to check back daily so you don't miss the updates, and don't forget to share. So when they're saying a platformer, what does that mean? Dapper Dash. It's like Dookie Dash, but not really. So, Algie, did you find like the claim was hard because it like the site was buggy, or did you have to like connect a whole bunch of wallets and you didn't have that? Because I'm curious. I don't have any of the NFTs. I sold the token. Gotcha. I didn't have any of the NFTs. I'm not sure what to do with the token, to be totally frank. So I guess we can play this Dapper Dino Dash. It's got some characters that are part of this. We got a world. What's more frightening than a T-Rex? A T-Rex with petrodactyl wings, cannon, and armor. This kind of looks like the Digimon we looked at the other day. But this was one of the collections that was originally hyped up, or at least shared through Gary V's like V-Friend. I don't even know what it was called. It's like V-Friend onboarding of some sort. Because they did collabs with different people, but cool to see the Dapper Dinos are still doing different things. I sold the token because I feel like market cap is high compared to Ape. I totally agree on that part. I was surprised that it came out the way it did. It kept giving me the error that wouldn't pop up on the transaction. Oh, it's jocked. So again, when we're talking about different government officials, U.S. Senator Cynthia Loomis says 2025 will be the year for Bitcoin and digital assets. Wild to see the different interpretations of everybody as we're going into this time. Okay, so Coinbase, I guess things are cooking on base. Let's see what they got to say.
A thing that I think just in the last few years people are waking up to as they see, oh, I could be deplatformed if I say the wrong thing. Or, oh, I feel like I'm getting scraps when these corporations are making hundreds of billions of dollars. And I think that collective awakening is kind of bringing us to a new moment where we're realizing, hey, maybe we need better tools. Maybe we need better platforms. And maybe we need a better internet that actually puts creators first.
Yo, okay, listen, I'm not going to lie. That was a banger message right there. Because I think everybody's just wanting to be truthful about certain things. And when you feel a certain way, you know, once you're aware, then you're aware. Okay, so the Nifty Island token drop did happen as well. If you happen to be a part of this, you played the game, you went on other people's islands, you might have gotten a Palm at some point, which is one of the NFTs for it. It was actually not a horrible drop. I played it during season 1. I didn't farm anything else. There was a lot of collections that had partnerships, components that were connecting with it. So they gave you like extra perks at different points for earning the points, but once you had the points, you were able to claim. When I went through the claim, it asked me if I wanted to stake any amount of it to get like more of it. I didn't really understand the way that they had it set up. It didn't really like, so it said that if I didn't stake, it would be at a 1, but then if I did, it would go up to like a 6, but it didn't say if that's a multiple, if that's a times, or if that's just like 6. So I was kind of confused on it. So I just ended up taking the drop, but I mean, I listen, I'm okay with it. It's great to see, and just insanity within the entire NFT marketplace. And you can take in a silo that, okay, Pudgy's crashed, whatever else. But I think the next question is, and when we saw where like Luca Nets earlier today as well, people were asking like what the next thing was going to be for like the NFT space as like a whole. Right? Of like, okay, who's like the next airdropper? And there we go. Sorry, it took me a second. Luca providing the old Yuga model of free community airdrops is still the most effective way to pump floors. Who will be next? And he's saying, we're not done. So is this talking about Abstract? Is this talking about Pudgies? Is this talking about more things coming for the Pudgy token? Is this something where we're going to see people that stake the Pudgy token are going to be able to get Abstract token, which is something that's going on right now within like Parallel, where you can stake Prime for the Prompt AI token? A lot of different ways to go about it. It's crazy how the Hyperliquid token is ripped like crazy, in my opinion, though. It's because the app is actually highly used and really good. Even comparing to Magic Eden or Pengu's, the adoption exists primarily because of desire, opposed to force and hopium. I sold my claim early, so not even chilling, just wild how well. So at the beginning of the stream, I went over, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Infinigods, and you probably heard of Pixel. I think it was Pixelmon. So the Mon token and Infinigods, which is like the Gods token, I saw somebody post, and we covered it very briefly, but they said that they paid to get listed on Hyperliquid, and I'm like, I've not looked into Hyperliquid, but if like you're paying for that attention, like, is there that much volume for Hyperliquid? Is it people are wanting to use that chain where they're going to use any app for it? And it's weird when you look at all the different ecosystems right now. I think that there's a struggle where certain chains have maybe more activity than they do have enough apps to sustain it, where some ones have too many apps where there's not enough people to sustain it, where it felt like Blast, they actually had a lot of apps, but they didn't have a whole lot of people that was able to sustain that once everything else was like tugging, pulling, and you're just like, what are we doing, brother? It's kind of insane. It's kind of crazy, but that is crypto. All right, we're going to look at the charts real quick here, and then we'll say sayonara, have fun, good luck. Pengu, oh my goodness, let me go back one. The trending coins, XRP's up. Pengu, I mean, it's up 452%, but I'm pretty sure it's like down from where it is. Yo, club, what's going on? What's going on? How we doing? Soul getting some attention again. Nothing crazy. I think it's weird that we had also like kind of euphoria. It felt like last night. And then I woke up today. I looked on the timeline and people were getting these airdrops and everything and like generally being excited. But it wasn't like, not really. Like it was like I saw people that were like in the Pengu ecosystem. And then other people that were like, oh, thanks for the drop. But the energy from last night to today, listen, I get that it's all text and I get that we're all like making up emotional feelings. It did not feel as like crazy as I thought. And I don't know if that's because it was like a downish day on crypto. And when I mean downish, it's like not really recovering. ETH is down a little bit. Generally, like we're doing all right. But just, I don't know. Monday felt super exciting in the markets. And then today it felt like, I don't know. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Anyway, that's it for this edition of XFeed. Thank you so much for coming on through, Mr. Young Algae. Scree Club, thank you for the follow, and thank you for popping on through. Snazzy, I hope you are doing phenomenal. I doubt you have any book games, but if you do, I hope they moon. And Neil, thank you so much for being the first person here. Absolute legend. Same with everybody else watching afterwards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You want me to wait? Okay, we're going to wait. 29, 28. 22. Oh, yo, Al just got some too. Yeah, it's mainly just a perps app that you onboard through Arbitrum, but it's so smooth that it's the most used, offers the most leverage. Okay, so that was the other thing that I saw that people were like, or no, it wasn't even people. It was them posting of like a new token got listed and you can use leverage up to like 5x. And I'm like, okay. And sees the most volume. The trades are quick to the hype. It's just because it's the best app for this type of trading compared to like Drift or Zeta. I'm not gonna lie. I need to try out some other things within like crypto. Like I feel like I'm somewhat segmented into like whatever I'm focusing on. You know what I mean? Where once you get the bags in a certain thing, you're like, okay. Like I mean, Deepin as an example is something that sounds really, really cool, but I also don't know how many different variants are going to come out, how many of it is going to catch fire, if you will. It's just I don't know. But Screed, you got the question, or what do we got for you? I can definitely wait though. Trending new. Okay, so if I click over to new, I'm in a Telegram group that pumps coins like 1,000 times. But whenever I do sell limit or take profit, it never reacts. What's wrong? Whenever I do sell limit it or take profit, it never reacts. What do you? I'm not sure what you mean. So are you saying that the token is like not reacting and it's like a honeypot? Or are you saying that like people within the Telegram are not like reacting to the sells and you were like expecting them to be positive and or negative about the sells going on? I'm not entirely sure. Dude, I don't use Telegram a whole lot. We posted today though, actually, for anybody that's interested, if you follow the X page about a Telegram chat. And also, side note, 56% dominance by Bitcoin. Remember we were at 60? Insane. Scree, I'll take a peek at the chat after this, but I appreciate you coming on through and appreciate everybody else. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day, and we'll talk soon. Okay, peace.